What's up guys? Today I bring you a head-to-head comparison between two new Poco smartphones. We have the Poco X6 versus the Poco X6 Pro. Now both are mid-range / flagship powered smartphones with 4nm chipsets. So in this video we are simply trying to find out what are the main differences between the two. So let's begin with the prices. Now when Poco sends you a review unit, they will never disclose the price. But from past reviews and trends, we know that Poco is well known in producing a super bang for your buck smartphone. And you can expect these two smartphones to be quite affordable and attractive in price. So let's try to guess the price and we will see if my prediction is close to reality. Now I'm guessing that the Poco X6 will be priced just around or under £200 and the Poco X6 Pro will be just under £300. No idea if this will be the case, but by the time this video is live, the actual prices would have already been unveiled to you. And you can check those prices again from the links in the description box. So how do they feel in my hands? Well, both phones feature a plastic back. Almost feels like glass, and they both have a reflective finish and both are quite fingerprint prone. I have the blue version of the X6 and the black version of the X6 Pro, and there are other color options available for both models. Now more about the design. The Poco X6 has flat edges going all the way around on the back, and the Poco X6 has slightly rounded edges. Now if we flip the phone over to the front, both feature 6.67 inch 120Hz AMOLED displays with super fast 2160Hz touch sampling and 1920Hz PWM dimming in both. And if that was not enough, both also feature Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, which is absolutely insane. And additionally, the X6 Pro also features HDR10+. Both screens are protected by Gorilla Glass, but slightly different versions. The X6 has Gorilla Glass Victus and the X6 Pro has Gorilla Glass 5. And yes, this is not a mistake. I double checked the spec with the brand. They have opted for Gorilla Glass Victus in the standard X6 model and Gorilla Glass 5 in the Pro model. It is what it is. Now both phones are pretty slim and light. The X6 is 7.98mm thick and it weighs 181 grams, and the X6 Pro is 8.25mm and weighs 186 grams. So technically the X6 is slightly slimmer and lighter, but in the hands you would not feel or notice the difference. They feel more or less the same in weight and dimensions. Now let's quickly compare the ports. I'm going to place the Pro version on top of the standard model. You can see we have exactly the same layout at the bottom. So we've got a dual 5G SIM tray, Type-C charging and loudspeakers. And on the side we have exactly the same looking volume and power buttons. Up on top we have both of their secondary loudspeakers, IR blasters, but the X6 model actually comes with a headphone jack. And you can see the X6 Pro model does not, which is quite interesting. And on the other side of both phones you can see there is nothing. Other differences. Both phones have nearly the same battery capacity. So the X6 has 5100 mAh versus 5000 mAh in the X6 Pro. Both support 67-watt turbo charging and the chargers are included in the box. Now adding to that, neither phone supports wireless charging. Now if we talk about sound, and as mentioned earlier, both phones support Dolby Atmos. And here is a quick sound sample test to give you an idea of both.
nature's fury.
Okay, so I've tested both speakers, completing a sound test with basic audio and also some Dolby Atmos demos. I have to say that they both sound great, but the Pro version sounds slightly better, so a slightly more fuller and more powerful sound, and the bass is also slightly better. Alright, so now let's talk about processing power. Both phones are powered by a powerful 4nm chipset, offering you a flagship performance. The X6 has the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2, which is an octa-core clocked at 2.4 GHz, and the X6 Pro has the MediaTek Dimensity 8300 Ultra, which is an octa-core clocked at 3.35 GHz. Furthermore, both phones also feature integrated graphics. The Poco X6 has the Adreno 710 and the X6 Pro has the Mali G615. And if we compare the benchmark results, the X6 achieves 579K in Antutu and the X6 Pro achieves a whopping 1.3 million. So interesting results from the benchmarks, and it looks like the X6 Pro offers more than double the performance and power when compared to the Poco X6 due to a more powerful chipset and more higher clock speeds. And if we also compare the temperatures, starting temperatures, X6 was 28 degrees and the X6 Pro was 27.7 degrees. And the temperatures after concluding the test, we have 36.6 versus 39.1. So by the end of the test, the Pro model actually got slightly hotter. Furthermore, the X6 features LPDDR4 RAM with UFS 2.2 storage, and the X6 Pro features LPDDR5 RAM with UFS 4.0 storage. And I have here 12 plus 512 variants for both of these phones. You can of course also pick these up in other variants, and just to confirm, neither phones support microSD expansion, so whatever storage you buy initially, that is what you're going to have to make do with. And furthermore, both phones do also support dual SIM 5G. Now let's test out that gaming performance. First of all, we're going to compare the COD graphics settings. Maximum graphics selectable on the X6 is high and maximum frame rate. And the maximum graphics selectable on the X6 Pro is very high with ultra frame rate. And if you select ultra, then the graphics will drop down to medium, and then additional settings become active for frame rate adjustment from 60 FPS to 120 FPS. So you can certainly expect a much more powerful performance from the X6 Pro model. Now for this comparison and keeping things equal, I'm going to select exactly the same apples to apples, high graphics and maximum frame rate. So I'm going to play one game on each phone. We're going to see the performance and then I'll compare the temperatures on each straight after playing. So let's start off with COD gameplay on the Poco X6.
Hardpoint identified. Target in sight! Hardpoint ours. Stand by. Repeat. UAV recon. Sentry gun ready to deploy. Hardpoint locked down. Capture the objective. Targets in sight! Tango down!
So after one game of Call of Duty, you can see the CPU temperature right there. Poco X6 Pro, COD, here we go.
Get inside. Target down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Enemy contact. Enemy down. Target down. Contact with enemy. Hardpoint is ours. Hunter killer drone on standby. Targets in sight.
And the CPU temperature, after playing one game of Call of Duty, you can see it right there. So it looks like the X6 Pro managed to remain cooler after a full round of COD Mobile. Alright, so now let's check out the cameras. Both phones have a similar camera setup, but the camera bump design is quite different. So both phones have 3 sensors and an LED flash. And if we quickly go through the sensors, we have 64 megapixel primary, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel macro lens. And on the front, we have the same 16 megapixel front selfie camera located in the same location in the center. So let's take a look at some side-by-side camera samples and see how they fare. So starting off with video recording on both phones, shooting at their maximum resolutions. So 4K at 30 frames on both with optical image stabilization. And you can see both clips are looking pretty good and the stabilization is very smooth on both. And if we switch to the front cameras, maximum video resolutions are Full HD at 60 frames. Alright, so now it's time to compare some photos. Both phones shoot 16 megapixel photos in standard photo mode, otherwise known as binge shots. You can also shoot full 64 megapixel full resolution photos, and here are a few samples for you guys to look at. Now this is the part where I share my indoor shots, shooting some random colourful things in my kitchen. So what do you guys think of the cameras? Do let me know which one you think overall performed better. Alright, so quick look at DRMs. You can see both have Google Widevine Level 1 certification and both support Netflix HD with Dolby Vision and spatial audio. And here is a quick look at CPU-Z where you can check out the clock speeds. And you can see here Adreno 710 versus Mali G615. And if we have a look at the Android versions, you can see we've got Android 13 versus Android 14. And if we go to settings, you can see here Android 13, Android 14. This phone here, the Pro version, has Xiaomi HyperOS, and the other phone has MIUI version 14.0.4. And here are the results for the internal disk speeds. The Poco X6 achieves read speeds of 1323 and write speeds of 488. And in comparison, the X6 Pro achieves a slightly faster read speeds of 1733 and a slightly lower write speed of 407. So there you have it, guys. That was my quick comparison test between the Poco X6 versus the Poco X6 Pro. Both are great smartphones offering a mid-range to flagship performance for a very affordable price. So let me sum this one up by telling you what's the same and what's different. Both phones offer an equally great 120Hz AMOLED display with Dolby Vision support and DCI-P3 color gamut. And both also support dynamic refresh rates, so it can automatically adjust the refresh rate, or you have the option to go 60Hz all the time or 120Hz all the time. You have equally great quality speakers with Dolby Atmos. I thought the speakers in the X6 Pro were slightly louder with a higher bass level, but otherwise both great quality internal speakers supporting Dolby Atmos sound. Both phones also offer large battery capacities with 67-watt turbochargers included in the box, and you're getting nearly the same camera features and performance. So what's actually different between them? Well, the X6 Pro has the advantage of a faster processor, offering nearly double the power and speed than the standard X6 model, and the X6 Pro will also give you faster RAM and storage. So overall, faster phone and the ability to shoot 4K HDR videos with optical image stabilization. Now the advantage of the Poco X6 is you get Gorilla Glass Victus, so slightly stronger display protection, and you get a headphone jack for those who are still using wired headphones, and it's slightly slimmer and lighter. So those were the main differences between these two phones. I feel both phones offer tremendous value for your money, and no matter which one you pick, you are going to have a great time with that display, the super performance, the long battery life, and the fact that the chargers are included in the box. Now, if you want to find out more info on these smartphones, including the price and any special offers, do check out the links in the description box below. Meanwhile, hopefully this video has helped you to see the main differences between these two and help you decide between the two. Also, if you had a choice to pick one right now, which one would you go for? Please hit the like button if you found it useful. Meanwhile, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.